Hello, I'm Lance Westmoreland. This is my family. We own and operate the Basque Cross Ranch in Park Valley, Utah, which is located in Box Elder County. All of our children have grown up working with us from a young age. Their mother gets most of the credit for that. She'd saddle horses for them and drag them along behind us. And it's made a big difference because they've all learned how to work and they're all very good help.
It's such an honor to be part of a ranch family for me. I was raised in this valley across from my grandma and uncle, and I spend a lot of time working with them. And it was important to me from an early age to teach them about hard work. We didn't hire a lot of outside help, so they've had help from when they were very young, and that's been important.
When we first moved onto the ranch, it had been absentee owned for several decades. It was pretty run down. It took a lot of work. When we first moved here, every acre of the irrigated ground was flood irrigated with wild flood. We put gravity system and sprinklers in, pivots. By removing and thinning a lot of pinyon and juniper, it has created a lot more wildlife habitat for mule deer, sage grouse in particular, and feed for our cattle as well. When we first came here, there weren't any cross fences really on the ranch. We've built miles upon miles of cross fence, which allows us to do rest rotations and deferred rotations on our grazing, which has made a significant difference in the landscape and the plant community. We've also put dozens of miles of livestock water line in the ground and put in many water troughs which enable us to disperse livestock. To start with, we had several thousand acres of greasewood with Wyoming big sage in it with very little understory, very little feed value. So we've gone in and treated those areas and done grass seedings. We've included wildlife seedings in the mix and pollinators. We've enrolled part of our ranch into a conservation easement which will guarantee that that land is left in agricultural purposes in perpetuity. We enjoy our animals and working with animals, but animals come and go, and this land stays forever. The impact we have on it can either be for good or for bad, and that can carry on for generations. My father always taught me that we should leave things a little better than what we found them. We make a concerted effort to put a lot back into the ranch in improvements, and which isn't always the most economical thing. But I think if a person doesn't put back into it, pretty soon you have nothing left. And the sustainability over generations is really the most important thing we can do and give as a gift to the land.
I'm Joel Ferry, and this is my dad John Ferry and my uncle Ben Ferry, and we run J.Y. Ferry and Son. We're located here in Corinne, Utah. We run a feed yard, a cow-calf operation, and we also raise crops, corn, wheat, alfalfa, and grass hay. We also manage thousands of acres of wetlands for waterfowl habitat for hunting and also for grazing.
Our family came out in the 1900s, actually 1900 itself, when the Bear River Canal System was built. And originally they bought parcels of property and developed it using a team of horses and a 4-foot scraper. Today we carry that heritage on, but our equipment that we use is significantly different. We use lasers and other types of equipment that enables us to complete the conservation that's important to us for the habitat development and also for improving and conserving water.
Well, a farm and a ranch's greatest resource is the land. If you take care of the land will take care of you. And you have to be able to, as a manager of this resource, be able to see what is the best use of the land. The land will tell you. All you have to do is listen.
Conservation work has been something that's always been important to me. Some people call me a duck farmer. It's because I love to work in the wetlands and I love to create these habitat areas that are so important, that really benefit our farm and ranch. And to me, I look at the work that we've done. I have 5 young children, I have 4 boys, and I want that legacy to carry on to them. I take them out duck hunting with me, I take them irrigating with me, they drive in the tractor with me, and I want to teach them the principles that I learned from my grandpa, from my dad, from my uncle, so that they can gain an appreciation and a love for this land as well. We've done a wide variety of conservation, from both our farm ground to our wetlands, to our range. Some of the projects we've done have been pollution reduction. I decommissioned a feed yard that sat right on the Bear River last year because there was a potential for it to pollute the Bear River. Stream bank restoration here on the Bear River to prevent sedimentation from entering the river stream. That's another way. You know, every project has a certain benefit that benefits the public.
One of the biggest problems, for example, we've had on the wetlands, there's a plant called Phragmites, which will totally take over a wetlands and make it useless. We have found ways of grazing the Phragmites and using grazing as a tool to manage the wetlands for the wildlife.
Out in west, Basque County, we have installed roughly 5 miles of pipeline, and with 20,000 gallons of different storage tanks up high so that they gravity down to various water troughs so that we can control where they graze based on where the water source is.
I hope that what we see behind us in 50 years from now looks just like it does today. That's the goal, is to maintain what we have, to protect it, and to keep it beautiful and pristine just like it is here. I want my kids, my grandkids, to be able to have the opportunity to come out and hunt on these ponds, to enjoy them, to watch birds, and to have this resource available to them forever.
Hi, we're the Ercanbrack family, and we are very proud and excited to be a finalist in the Utah Leopold Conservation Award. It's an honor to work together and carry on a family tradition of ranching and taking care of the land, and I'm proud to carry on stewardship for this land and take care of it. It's a really nice opportunity to be in a part of a landmark award like this, because it gives us a chance to look back on all the hard work that we've done as a family.
This is a family operation, cattle operation. It has been owned for 48 years, 3-4 generation. We run it together, the kids and the family. We are up Summit County, Chalk Creek, up in the head of Grass Creek. For the conservation of the ground, we have to do the fence lines we put in to do prescribed grazing, water development, storage, and put it into troughs. We've had an opportunity of doing a conservation easement, which means it'll be this way forever. That means a whole lot to our place.
I really feel like our big picture of our conservation practices has allowed our whole family to stay active in the cattle industry. My dad, mom did a great job raising kids who have a passion and want to stay in the business. But with that also comes the problem of, do you have enough land to run the cattle? And instead of us getting more cattle, we answered it in the other way. Let's take care of the land so we can support more cattle and support our want and our desire for the industry as well.
Well, for instance, right here where we're at is our weaning pasture. We'll put the calves in the pasture and the cows are right outside. We've implemented fence line weaning, and that's kind of helped, well, late in the fall, kind of get those cows out and about and off the bottoms, and kind of stretches out our feed a little bit. And we've also helped the wildlife and our grazing management by doing some sagebrush removal work and some reseeding in a few different places on the ranch.
One of the conservation practices that we've implemented is aspen regeneration, and it's something that I've really become passionate for as well. Aspen make a natural fire break. They are great for the habitat and they provide biodiversity. Just in the last 10 years that we've started aspirin regeneration, we can see the wildlife become healthier, the birds become healthier, the cattle can spend more time on certain areas. It's been a well-rounded approach to solving lots of problems. A lot of time on horseback looking at the feed that's coming up and the trees that are coming up, and the regeneration process is just absolutely beautiful to me. And I guess the idea is we're not just regenerating aspen trees, we're not just regenerating the land, but we're regenerating the interest in the soil and the water, and also our kids' interest as well.